topic I completed my research on is wrongful conviction, specifically the cases that are caused by eyewitness identifications. During this presentation, I will cover why attention to the issue of wrongful conviction is important. I will attempt to cover all bases on background on the current procedures used for eyewitness identification and the most recent data of the frequency of eyewitness error. And because this has been an ongoing issue and any reforms that has been implemented as a result has not yet been effective enough to significantly decrease the amount of eyewitness misidentification, I myself, after plentiful research completed, will present reforms I suggest, along with other efforts that has been put forward by organizations that has been formed specifically to address the issues of wrongful convictions and overturn the increased amount of cases. So I'll start with this. For instance, say you happen to be going about your everyday life. You enter through the doors of your school. Following behind you, someone walks in and begins to shoot outrageously, shooting random people. Days later, you're requested to come in to the office for questioning. Your name has been thrown in the air as a possible suspect. Not only did you and the one that committed the crime walk in around the same time, but you are the same race, similar in skin tone and features. You're interrogated, asked to participate in a live lineup, and shortly after arrested, being informed that you were one of the 5 of the 6 other people in the live lineup that was identified to whom committed the crime. Then later convicted of the crime. As though this is not bad enough, you're sentenced to life in prison for a crime that you had absolutely no part in committing. So, you serve 13 plus years in prison, constantly claiming your innocence. You come out to nothing. A whole decade plus passes, and you're then released or exonerated. Your case is exonerated after DNA testing proves your innocence. A whole decade passes. I'm sorry, brain fart. You come out to nothing. No money, no job, family resenting you, and all you receive is an apology and a couple of $100 to start you off on your new journey. Well, scenarios similar to these in some perspectives occurs more often than you think. When one is convicted of a crime and in prison or serves any amount of time paying for a crime they did not commit, will be considered a wrongful conviction. Wrongful conviction could be a result of eyewitness misidentification, police misbehavior, forensic error, but not limited to these. But all of the ways one could be wrongly convicted. Gross and Schaefer conducted a detailed analysis of 873 cases in the National Registry of Exoneration, a joint project of Northwestern's law schools, and determined that eyewitness misidentifications occurred in 667, which is 70% of cases. In over half of the cases, the eyewitness testimony or identification from one individual is what leads to the conviction. While some remain consistent in the claimings of their innocence and others do not, this ultimately leads to the overturning or exoneration of the case. The Registry of Exonerations reports 87 people falsely convicted of crimes were exonerated in 2003. Normally, the largest amount of cases overturned are due to DNA testing. In the past 23 years, over 2,000 wrongly convicted persons have been exonerated. For those of you that do not know, the problem of wrongful convictions has remained continuous in its uprising. Very unfortunate for the ones that get caught up in the broken system the U.S. is currently working under because once you are in, it is rare and not too easy to get yourself out. The whole semester, I've completed much research on this topic and reviewed and analyzed more than 15 plus cases about wrongful convictions that were in results of misidentification. With that, I was able to generate a list of a few reforms I believe that should be implemented or considered to decrease the wrongful conviction epidemic. Others have suggested blind administration, eyewitness confidence statements, and similar fillers in the lineups. The first reform that I would personally suggest, unique to after reading everything, is for it to continue to be utilized. If wrongful conviction, if eyewitness identification continues to be utilized as a source to convict a person for a crime, that technology must begin to be, let me catch my thought. Reforms that should be implemented or considered to decrease the wrongful. I was able to generate this list, and I believe if wrongful conviction and eyewitness identification is continued to be utilized as a source to convict someone of a crime, that technology needs to be incorporated. Videoing, recording, and any other type of technology. And then I believe this would lower or decrease the amount of wrongful convictions that are due to eyewitness identification. If there's ever a question of who, what, why, or when anything occurred, all you have to do is go back and review the tapes, and there it would clearly be stated or shown on video. The second and utmost suggestion I would make to decrease the amount of cases that are caused by eyewitness misidentification is to eliminate eyewitness identification as a primary evidence that could be used to convict someone of a crime. An eyewitness specifically, can state that someone committed a crime and just that one person's testimony could lead to the conviction of one. And that just doesn't seem right to me or ethical. So I believe it's proven its inaccuracy time after time with actual human beings' life at stake. It is understood that eyewitness identification has been used for many years in the criminal justice system to convict someone of a crime, but I believe it should not be accepted as a key evidence to convict anyone for a crime. Additional evidence should be required before one is convicted. I think before anyone attempt to ignore this topic, think about it if this happened to you or a friend or a family member. How would you feel? Helpless? Much attention to this topic is necessary, and sooner than later will be better. Innocent people are convicted every single day. Innocent people are serving time in prison behind bars every single day for a crime that they had absolutely no part in committing, on a basis of a statement that was given by another imperfect individual. Thank you for listening.